In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to process your notes at the end of the day. If you do this, you're going to find that two things will likely happen. One, you'll be able to bring real closure to the end of your day. And two, by reading each note title, you'll get a true sense of how your day went. If you're using Evernote, the first thing you need to do is create two notebooks. One, a default notebook called Inbox. So every unprocessed note that you create will end up in there. And two, you're going to create a notebook to hold every note that isn't part of your inbox. In my system, I've called this notebook the brain. Okay, for the sake of this video, let's assume it's 8 p.m. and you'd like to shut down your day. The first thing you're going to do is process your inbox. In this example, you have 6 notes. Now, of course, if this was your real inbox, you'd likely have a lot more notes by the end of your day. To help flesh out the narrative of your day, be sure to organize the notebooks by created and from first to last. That way, you're reading about the first thing you did in the morning all the way to the last thing you did before shutting down. So in this specific case, your day would sound something like this. You woke up super early, your kids were still sleeping, you were a bit groggy, and you decided that an upper body exercise would be the best use of your time. And look at that, your second note, you actually did an upper body workout, half of it anyways, and you felt pretty energized. You then decided that the best use of your time right now would be to draw your kids a cartoon and put in their lunchbox. Now, the third note, the house was finally quiet. That's the context. And then you decided to check your most important things that you identified on your to-do list. Number 4, you picked well. You sent the taxes to your accountant, and then you decided to write poorly, but you want to make some headway on your manuscript. And that was the last note for your day. You have 2 final notes, little items, quick notes that we spoke about in the first video. You need to buy some milk and eggs and to call back Stuart to discuss Project X. Now, while you're processing each of your notes, you're going to tag specific notes with project titles. The importance of this step will be explained in a further video. So in this case, the first and second note, you're not going to give either of those notes a project tag because these activities don't have any projects associated with those activities. But you might apply a checkbox to note number 2 to remind yourself that this task isn't finished yet. In the fourth note, you'll notice that there is no project tag designated for writing your book. So you would create a tag, writing manuscript, which will be applied to any note associated with this activity. Now, the last 2 notes were those little to-do items that you made via quick notes. I don't find those niggly items contribute to the narrative of my day. So what I usually do is I create either a checkbox for the note, so it reminds me to come back to it. It's an unfinished task, or I just process them right away. I also apply a tag that will eliminate these niggly items from the overall narrative that I'm creating in Evernote, and I do that by a save search. Now, this all sounds complex, but I will show you how to do that in the next video. Now that all of your inbox items have been processed, I suggest creating one last note to capture any last-minute thoughts, ideas, or things that you want to do differently tomorrow. Think of this as your last note as a letter to your future self, something that you might want to read first thing tomorrow morning. You're then going to send all of these inbox notes to the brain. Now your inbox is empty, and you can close out your day knowing that all of your projects, tasks, and journal entries are in their proper place. In the next video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use your moment-by-moment journal to reflect and learn from the week that just passed. Then, with those lessons fresh in your mind, we'll discuss how to plan for the upcoming week.